Good morning, Facebook. Thank you so much for joining. This is the Civilized Presence. And please just give me 2 minutes for Facebook to bring this video visible to everyone. Good morning. Where are you joining us from this morning? Come on in. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. Thank you. I'm so excited to have you here. I know it's a Thursday morning, but I am super excited. I have someone so special to me in our midst today, and it's going to be a great message. So come on in. Come in and say hello. While we wait for the video, we're using a different platform this morning. We're using Zoom. So give us a moment. We're almost there. All right. Okay, we're almost there. So come on in and let me know where you're joining from. If you can see the video, just say a quick hello. I can see some likes on the video, and I am trying to bring it on my personal page. It's on So Unique Experts right now. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you. Let me know where you're joining from. Let's give us 2 minutes. Artie, can you see the video, please?
I'm actually just trying to see right now.
Okay, I'm trying to do that.
I don't.
Okay, almost there.
Hold on, I see you here. There's a watch party going on.
Okay, I guess someone just started a watch party. Thank you so much.
It's on yours, actually. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm going to start a watch party from this as well.
Perfect. So I have it on your page right now, Arthie.
Brilliant.
And, yes, absolutely. So guys, thank you so much for joining.
Hold on, I see you here. There's a watch party.
Let us know where you're joining us from. It's the Civilized Presence watch party. Thank you so much.
It's on yours, actually.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm going to start a watch party.
To turn down the volume of the other one.
Yeah.
That's going. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. It's a Civilized Presence. You're definitely in the right place. I can see some of the hearts and thumbs up. Thank you so much for making out time. Welcome, Eric. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Esther. Welcome, Sule. Audu, it's good to have you in the house. Baller, it's so good to have you. Justina, thank you so much for joining. Guys, come on in and let us know where you're joining us from. So I kind of seems like I'm a blind bot this morning because I'm trying to figure out where the video is. But welcome, John. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you. It's the Civilized Presence. And of course, you're in the right place. Are you here for the very first time? Welcome. We can try this on Instagram as well, Arthie. Just give us a moment. So I am going live on Instagram. Guys, just invite your friends, families, neighbors, and your enemies too. It's going to be a great message to bring everyone. They need to listen to this message. I tell you, you're going to be excited. So come in and let me know where you're joining us from. So Arthie, I just started the live video on Instagram. So welcome, welcome everyone. Good morning. I am excited. It's the Civilized Presence. You are in the right place. So if you are here, just say a quick hello, give us some thumbs up. I'm just waiting for you, Artie, so that I can bring you on the screen on Instagram. So if you click on my profile photo, on Instagram, that's going to bring you in. Welcome, MC16. It's great to have you in the house. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a wonderful Thursday morning. I don't know where you're joining us from, but I am just trying to bring my guest here on the screen on Instagram. It's so good to have you in the house. Thank you. So if it is your first time, Civilized Presence is an online TV session where lives are changed, where people discover their self, their purpose, their voice, and of course, learn social skills to thrive in the real world. So if you want to become a change maker, you're definitely in the right place. I want to say a big thank you to you for saying yes to the call. You're watching from Tokyo. Woohoo! I'm so excited to have you here this morning. Welcome, Wenga from Nigeria. I can see Nigeria, I can see Ghana, I can see Japan, I can see Canada. So come in. Like, if you don't want to tell me your name, just let me know where you're joining us from. Okay. It's important that our guest gets to know who you are and how wonderful that you are. And I want to give you a shout out. Come on. I want to give you as a VIP. That's just going to make you feel really good this morning. So thank you for all the hearts. Thank you for all the thumbs up. It is great. There are a lot of new people who are jumping on. Giselle, it's good to have you here. Now, my name is Louisa Akaiso, and I am going to be your host for today. Like I said, of course, I feel so honored that you've responded and you're here. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Welcome. It's so good to have you. Where are you? Like, what's the weather around you? It's very cold here. It's raining, but I'm excited. It's warm in my office. Of course, I have the right person in the house today. So, of course, I'm really warm. And Artie, how are you doing? Are you able to
I
find
am
me?
brilliant. I'm just starting to get onto your
Is coming in because we're having trouble. So Instagram, please come over to Facebook Live. We're having trouble connecting with Instagram and we have to go. And so a lot of people might be asking, what does she do? So I am a certified master stability trainer and a leadership expert and coach with the John Maxwell team. I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation. And of course, that's going to be you this morning because you made out time to be here. And I think that's fine. We're just going to continue with Facebook and I will download it to Instagram later on. So the focus of this Facebook series or Instagram series, depending on where you're joining us from, is really to help restore civility in our society. And you would agree with me that civility is a lost art. Guys, there's so much pain and hatred in the world. And this is why we create this awareness. We created this platform last year. And really what we do is breaking it down into very simple, tiny bits that it is easy for you to understand. But of course, you know how important it is for you to be civil. And if you've been hanging around with me, you would have learned that it's as easy as saying please and thank you. You can begin with that. Or even sharing a compliment, just like I'm going to do this morning, that Arthie, you look amazing this morning. So thank you
thank you.
so much for making out time to be here. And you know what? Some of us struggle with some of these very little tiny things. You know, I'm here in North America. And of course, in North America, we do not say hello to our neighbors. So just in case you're one of those people, that's okay. Because right after this session, what I expect from you is that you're going to learn some tips and bits that will help you to live the best life ever, to be the best version of yourself. So we're not judging you. You've never done it before. That's okay. So, you know, I just want you to be able to begin right after the session to treat others the way that you want to be treated. And civility might be a foreign term to you. That's okay. And I'm going to share with you a definition of civility. I've chosen today one from Dr. P.F. Funny, which states that being civil means being constantly aware of others and weaving restraint, respect, and consideration into that very fabric of awareness. So, of course, civility is gracious goodness. It's a form of goodness, but civility is being responsible for your actions continually, trying to ease the experience of the person next to you. Pay attention to other people. Step out of your comfort zone. I know it gets comfortable in your comfort zone, but hey, you have to think about the next person. If it's easy for you to think about the golden rule, that's okay. Treating others the way that you want to be treated. Apologize earnestly if you have to. Refrain from idle complaints. I'm not saying you're not going to complain, but you can do it civilly. You learn how to. So if there's something that I want you to take away from this session is that civility is focused on positive people's treatment. Positive people's treatment. Civility is really the outcome of choosing behaviors that are congruent with your positive personal values. So think about that. Whatever is going to work for you. So let me share an example with you that is so easy. I can teach you how to say sorry or I'm sorry without explaining why. And you know what happens? You walk around the world and feel that you can hurt everybody and say sorry. And at that point, you did not mean that sorry. At that point, that sorry is a weapon because you're slapping on your face is like, hey, I'm just going to be, you know, mad and wicked and mean to you, and the next thing like, sorry. No, that's not the sorry we're talking about. With civility, you learn why it is important for you to apologize. You get to understand that it's not about you, really. It's about the other person. How are you making them feel? When people come in contact with you on a daily basis, what do they have to say about you? Did you just ruin their day? Or are they going to say that, you know what? I was having such a crazy day until I met Artie. That's what I want to hear. And let me tell you guys, I bring the best of the best to this show. You are about to find out about this amazing lady who is on my screen. And this is why I'm so excited. So, guys, do me a favor. Give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up. Give me a wave, whatever you want to do. Somersault, smiley face, cry, whatever. Just do something. Share it on your page. Invite people. Because if this message means something to you, if you love the topic, there are 99% chances that there are people on your platform who are going to benefit from the same message. So listen, don't make me your best kept secret, okay? So share it to everyone around you. Another thing, rule number 2 is grab your cup of coffee or water. I don't know what part of the world that you're in, and then get a pen and paper to learn. Because when we have Adi in the house, it's time to learn. I want you to be able to take notes of what she's going to talk about because you might not have heard about this before. I'm excited to learn, and you should be too. A mind who is not learning is dead. You don't want to die, when you're walking around. Come on in to Civilized Presence and learn something. I love you guys. And let me just say a big thank you to all of you, for making out time to be here because without you, the show will not go on. I do not take this for granted. I just want to say thank you, and thank you again. Thank you for believing in me, for the support, for always showing up. I mean, look at me. I'm here on a Thursday morning. Am I kidding? But you're here. So I appreciate you. And I'm going to go back to the audience and welcome Giselle. It's great to have you. Welcome Davida. Welcome Bumi. Welcome Millicent. It's good to have you. Izzy from Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you did not bring the snow on the show. I don't want to feel too cold, but welcome. It's good to have you in the show. So guys, let me tell you a bit about my guest this morning. Her name is Artie Moore, and she is the owner and co-founder of Celebrating Humanity International, PT Limited. She's also the founder of Key Leadership Institute Limited and owner of Key Promotions Branding Company. She is known for her keynote talks as a motivational speaker and international facilitator of the Celebrating Humanity programs, transformational team building, diversity training, leadership training, and team conflict resolution strategies across South Africa, Namibia, Swaziland, Zambia, US, London, and Hong Kong. I mean, I have hope. She's everywhere. So listen, if you want to work with her, I know she can come to you. So I have hope, because if she was going to just share this lovely message in South Africa alone, I'm just like, okay, but she's ready. She goes everywhere, guys. She might be in your city next month. So stay connected. I'm going to tell you how. Now, having gone to the States, she has acquired a worldwide license to facilitate value-based leadership programs and will launch this amazing program to impact 20,000 people this year. That is amazing, Adi. She's a certified John Maxwell leadership coach, trainer, and speaker. And of course, with this, she focuses on bringing international motivational speakers, John Maxwell's philosophies, and value-based leadership programs to South Africa to change and create a massive mindset change of positivity, hope, respect, and values within every home, heart, and thinking of every South African. Currently, she's writing 3 different books, but is also a published author in the communication section of Inspirational Women at Work, South Africa by Liesl Erasmus, as well as international online and local magazines. She's recognized and she's been given an award by Mrs. Mandela for her contributions to leadership amongst women in South Africa. She's also a rising star in South Africa, or essay finalist in 2014 and 15, and developed leadership for learners. I thought it was leadership because I have a program that's leadership, a pro bono program that's aimed at developing the incredible talents within our young leaders, enticing them to embrace their greatness and potential. She's currently working to create a national leadership for youth program with the intention of impacting thousands of young people and bringing hope to every one of them. Guys, when I saw your bio, Arthie, I was like, this lady is amazing. I tell you. And I want to say thank you so much for the work that you do.
Thank you.
This for granted. I mean, the heart that you have to serve people, to bring love and peace to the minds and heart of people, that means a lot to me and to everyone that knows you. And so, I mean, forgive me because I'm just going to brag about you. You are amazing. Yes, you are. And welcome, Susan. It's great to have you here from Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. It's good to have you. So I'm just going to give you a moment to say hello to the audience. Over to you, Arthie.
I think an amazing welcome and thank you for allowing me to be on this platform. I think it's an absolute privilege to be on this. I think something really amazing and incredible to have access to people like you who are impacting people around the world based on your values, the very depth of your humanity and your belief in people. And it takes platforms like this to impact people and to change mindsets. And you're not limited. It's global impact. And that is what I love about it. So for all of the people that are on the calls, who are on Instagram, on Facebook, on Zoom, on whichever platform they're watching us, just from our beautiful South Africa, I want to say thank you and welcome. It's going to be an absolute blast being on this call because I am so unfiltered and I loved connecting with Louisa, and I know that we're going to have amazing fun as well as a lot of learning with each other, from each other, and with you. And we're looking forward as well to the comments in the section. And whenever we can catch it, we'd love to connect with you as well, because the beauty of these platforms is our ability to connect with the people who are here listening. And to know that you've made time and sacrificed your time to be on this call, we want to add value to you and just say thank you from our side.
Thank you so much. Just amazing. And welcome, Ella, my sister right here in Virginia. It's so good to have you in the house. And guys, do me a favor, come on in and say a quick hello, because of course I am looking at different screens. Of course, I have different screens here. So I might not see you right away, but I want you to know that you are special. And I really do appreciate you making out time to be here. So come on, just say hello. Just gonna give me a thumbs up or something. And shout out your name. You know me. And welcome, Adaka. It's good to have you here from Ireland. Yay! Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. We're global this morning. My guest is all the way from South Africa. So I'm so excited. All the people from South Africa, I can see Kenya in the house. And thank you so much, everyone, for just making out time. And we are so excited and just happy and ready to learn. And you know what? I don't know if you've seen the topic of today, but it is one that really touches my heart, and I think is so relevant right now, especially that we have a lot of interesting leaders all over the world. So I think that it's such a timely message that as we are, professionals and coaches and trainers and speakers and whoever that we're impacting, we're trying to create leaders of tomorrow. It's important that we know a way of helping these people to shift their paradigm from what leadership was perceived to be back in the day. And it was kind of scary for some people to think about, I don't want to be a leader. Oh my God, no. Because the people around you, we're all failing at it. But there is a better way, okay? An easier way. And welcome, Margaret James. It's so good to have you in the house. I am so honored that you made out time to be here. Thank you so much for making out time. Thank you. So the topic of today is the compassionate leader of influence in personal and your business life. We are all leaders. It doesn't matter. If you're at home, you're a leader. You're a stay-at-home mom, you're a leader, okay? You're in your office, you're a leader. You're working for someone, you're a leader. You're in the community, you're a leader. But are you calling yourself that leader? Are you showing up as one? You're going to find out how. So hang with me because we're about to kind of unfold this interesting topic, one that I'm so passionate about. I love it. And I know you're going to be as excited as I am. Now, Arthie, how this works really is to begin the conversation with a question and, and just take it on. We might have a question from the audience. Maybe yes, maybe not. And we just carry on the conversation. So my very first question for you today would be, what does civility mean to you? Over to you, Arthie.
Well, I love the concept of what you were talking about. And I actually Googled the word civility to work it out because I believe that it is something to do with not just kindness, but the way we treat people. And I loved the way you described civility to me because it spoke to the heart and the spirit of people and the way they connect to each other. And I think from my point of view, I always talk about the compassionate leadership model, the compassionate person, the compassionate human being, the person who's able to connect not just at the level of the heart and the mind, not at the level of just the body, but at the level of the soul. So when I'm looking at civility, I'm looking at how do we impact people not just in the way we speak to each other, but more than that. Does our presence impact them and move them from where they're at to where they deserve to be based on our interaction with them? What is our energy like? Are we adding value to people? Do we depress them or do we enlighten them because we were with them for those few seconds? And I believe that it is a privilege. A privilege that a lot of us take for granted and maybe don't even understand the depth of what we have to offer to people based on the way we feel about ourselves. We can have impact. And when you're talking about leadership and civility in the same sentence as compassion, we need to have compassion for ourselves and be gentle with who we are as human beings and understand that there's a path that we can always follow. There's a journey of continuous learning that allows us to encourage ourselves first and entice within ourselves everything that we deserve in order to take that compassion and then add value to other people. Civility is our ability to connect with people at such a deep level that we are then at a point where we're truly embracing the sentence where people say, be the light, share your light, guide other people through your light. But if you are dimming your light because you don't believe that you deserve kindness within yourself, then there's a point of learning. It's as simple as that. It's not a point to judge ourselves. It is a point of observational awareness that allows us to then connect with the depth of who we are, take a step back and then realize, okay, well, I did not realize I had those thoughts about myself. So it's time to become more civil towards ourselves so that we can grow and then add value to other people through a presence of civility.
Wow, I love that. Be the light. I'm not going to forget that, guys. Be the light. That's such a great a reminder. It's kind of like a notch behind you. Be the light. Be the light that you want to see in the world. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And guys, welcome. If you just joined the Civilized Presence, you are in the right place at the right time. And so many other people are joining us. And welcome, Paula. It's good to have you. Rister, it's good to have you here. My sister from Kenya. I love you. Thank you so much for making up time. Sister Dulcie, thank you. Solomon from India. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm ready to do the breakdance. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm just so excited. We're everywhere. And welcome, my friend Sikoni. It's always so good to have you. It's such a great topic. Guys, let me tell you, you are in the right place and bring on your questions. Now, listen, bring on your questions because the expert is in the house. You don't want to bring the question when the expert is gone. You don't want to do that. So bring it when she's here. She's ready to take on the questions. She's happy to work with you. And Absolutely. It is great to do it here. If you have to hire her, it's going to be a lot of money. So come on, do it here. Now, taking us to our next question for you, Arthie, is what who is a compassionate leader, anyways? I know that John Maxwell describes leadership as influence, nothing more, nothing less. So, who is a compassionate leader? Over to you, Arthie.
Well, the reason I chose that as a focus for myself is I believe that the compassionate leader is somebody who leads with the intention of moving people from where they are to where they deserve to be, using all of the skills, tools, and techniques based on respect for the human being, respecting and honoring the person so they feel honored and valued for who they are as a person. Now, a compassionate leader can see past people's behaviors, people's actions, be past their personalities, past their reactions, and understand that there is a person in front of them. And the most compassionate leader is able to see what people are not saying. For me, that is important because when we talk about leadership as influence, how do you influence people if you don't even know the reality of who they are, what they're feeling, and what's going on in their world? So a compassionate leader knows how to influence them by connecting with them at a very deep level. It's not about just saying, oh, yeah, I understand. It's not just about empathizing. It is about connecting. And I feel that the emotional connection is what a lot of people are missing at the moment. We have so many facades and we have so many protection mechanisms in place that when you're in an environment where you've got a whole lot of people depending on you, how do you connect to every individual in their unique way to draw out their uniqueness and to guide and support them in the way they need to be supported? You're not going to know that if you're leading with the one brush leads them all, the one type of management style, the one type of leadership style. Engaging with them with only your personality type and then pushing people to give you the results based on your personality interactions or your communication style. Compassionate leader is able to connect on various levels within seconds, is able to adjust the way they communicate and have impact with an individual as well as a team and make everybody feel included. And I feel that to be in a space like that, somebody who's coming from compassion needs to understand the reality of the human being. So you're not talking about the color, the culture, the age, the language, the traditions, the generation gap. You're not talking about sexual orientation of the person. You're talking about a person without all of the stereotypes, all of the biases, and all of your own prejudices. The compassionate leader is able to connect at that level of clarity. There is a human being who is feeling certain things, who needs guidance in a certain way, and I can adjust in that moment without changing who I am as a person. So the compassionate leader never changes who they are. They just continuously keep developing themselves so that their energy moves people, even as they're speaking to people. It's able to talk to everybody, and there's a nuance in something that you say or the way you say something, or even in your conversation that will trigger off for a person an aha moment. And for them, that is the change that they needed. That is the impact that they needed to make a decision or to move themselves or stimulate their thinking in a different way.
Perfect. This is great. I love this. This is good. I'm hearing different things, and we're going to get to that. We have a comment from the audience, from Sekani says communication is critically important for a compassionate leader or compassionate leadership, and from Ella, honored and valued. Yes, yes. This is so soothing. I think there's hope here because some form of leadership is so authoritative. It's like, oh my goodness, where am I? But there is hope. There is hope with the compassionate leadership system. I love it. Now, what I'm hearing right now, of course, it's a lot of not being selfless, caring about other people. You know, you're focused on impacting other people. And it's going to take me to my next question is, you know, what do you really mean? And I want people to know this because I find that we get blinded to see how we can be selfish and self-centered. We don't see that. You know, we only see it when it happens to us. Okay, so how can we manage or control or stop being, or even, okay, let's put it this way. What's the difference between being selfish or and being selfless? And how is this going to, affect your development or your growth? Over to you, Arthie.
Well, see, I love that question because it is one of the things that I always talk about. I feel that that is one of the most imperative parts of life that people need to embrace before they can continue on their journey wherever they are at in their lives. You see, when I talk about being selfless. The very definition of it is when you keep giving to other people. That's selfless. Selfish is when people just keep taking and taking and taking, but there has to be balance. The challenge there is that a lot of people don't even realize that when they're being selfless, they're actually being selfish. And I find that for many people, they will take a step back and say, no, I'm not selfish. Yes, you are. And the reason being is that when you keep giving to people selflessly, you are actually taking away from yourself. You're being selfish to yourself. The reason I say that is that whilst you're continuously giving and giving to other people, you're depleting your own energy. Who's filling you? At what point do you allow people to fill you? Because when you come across a lot of selfless people, they're the types that will be looking for, hey, you're an amazing person. They're the type of people who don't want to be screamed at, rejected, feel abandoned by people. They want to just keep giving so that they're living in an environment where people see only the good side of them. But here's the thing, is that when you keep giving selflessly, you will get to the point where you keep sacrificing who you are and you sacrifice everything of what you deserve to have in your life because you keep saying to people, well, I'm being selfless, I'm giving. But the challenge there is that as you keep giving, you then attract people who take advantage of you and who will then start to abuse the very essence of who you are. And you will then eventually get to that point where you'll resent the way you give. When I'm saying that you're being selfish to yourself, you need to understand that the selfish part is that you're not filling yourself. You don't allow people to fill you, which means there's no balance. When I insist on people having a balance between being selfless and selfish, I'm saying learn the word no. Learn how to take back your power and say no to certain things in your environment that is not adding value to you, where people are taking advantage of who you are, so that you don't become the doormat for everybody. You see, when we were talking about civility and compassion, I said, be gentle with who you are first. Be gentle with yourself, because a lot of people in their selfless acts, think about it. A martyr is somebody who only gets acknowledged after they've died. Now that is selfless, but a person was never acknowledged while they were living. Now, here's the thing, is a lot of people in the work environment and at home are taken advantage of in the way, and let me quantify this. They're taken advantage of in a way where they're the ones who always are called at any time of the night when there's an emergency. They're the go-to person. They're the person you will always go to when you need money, when you need a loan, when you want to throw a party. They're the people that will run around and pick up things for you. They're the ones who will stay after the party and help you to clean up, to pack up. You're the one who's always the slave to other people's desires. And if you think about it, a lot of people in leadership talk about, if you don't acknowledge and embrace your own dream, you will be at a point in your life where you are following other people's dreams and you're a slave to other people. So that is when you're thinking you're being selfless and you're helping somebody else build their lives, their lifestyle, their vision. You've actually been selfish to yourself by stopping your growth, stopping your journey. You put the brakes on who you are and what you deserve. By giving so much to everybody else, you've got no balance. And then you start to resent that giving. You start to feel this is not worth it. Why don't people acknowledge me? How come I don't get this promotion at work? How come I've been in the industry for this long? I'm an expert, but nobody ever gives me awards. You see, all of that is self-talk. And all of that is coming back to the point of selfless and selfish not having balance. So when I'm talking about selfish, I'm not saying take advantage of other people. I'm saying stop allowing people from taking advantage of you by saying no to the things that prevents you from having everything that you so rightly deserve as well. Because a lot of people don't believe that they deserve health, wealth, prosperity, and abundance mentality, everything else, because they're so busy building everybody else, they forget about themselves. Hence why a lot of people suffer with fatigue or depression or sadness or guilt, or even feeling emotionally drained. I mean, there's no balance. And I think, life should be fun and exciting for everybody, not just for one person more than the other. It should be for everybody. There should be an equality of enjoying life, because we're all on this earth together. At what point did we decide that one person deserved more than we did? What point did we decide that we did not deserve as much as other people did? And when you think about it, getting that balance between, and everything's got balance. You've got good and bad, you've got love and hate, you've got pain and suffering, and then you've got love and hope, you've got generosity, as well as everything else. So we are guaranteed in life that yes, we will feel pain. Yes, we will have sadness. Yes, we will have anger. But we are also guaranteed to know that yes, we will have happiness, we will have joy, we will have hope, and we will have love. And that is the beauty of this life. And when we can embrace the balance of the both, we can live an exquisite life and an incredible journey. And the only way we can give to others is when we fill ourselves.
Wow, this is so powerful. This is gonna make, we were required to go and do some kind of homework when we're done from this. And I'm gonna do the same thing. And I just love this message because, first of all, it reminds me of David Costa's definition of emotional intelligence. And that states that it's not the triumph of the heart over the head, but is a unique intersection of both. And I think this is what you were just talking about. You're going to work from your heart, but your head has got to be in place as well. Both of them have got to work together. And so it requires creating a balance, because it's only the balance that is going to help you to create that life of significance. And this is going to lead me to my next question for you, that how can one create that life of significance, with all of this that are happening on the left, right side? So let's do the left side of your brain and the right side of your brain. Here you're trying to give out so much and you feel like you're being used and you're losing yourself. And another part, you're kind of confused, like, oh, do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I really serve people? Do I stay back where I am? Do I hold back? Do I impact people's lives? How can you create that balance and still impacting people's lives and not losing who you are, but creating a life of influence? So that takes me to my next question. Over to you, Arthie.
Okay, stunning question. There's a lot of nuances to that question and a lot of levels. And I feel the best way to actually describe this, firstly, significance is something, and for me personally, significance is not about legacy. A lot of people miss the point. Legacy, a lot of people have come to the point where they think that leaving a legacy is for their children and for people. It's in a building, it's in their wealth, in their creation of things. And I'm thinking we've missed the point. Significance is so much more powerful than legacy. Legacy is something you can physically show in terms of achievement. Significance is the impact that you have on thousands of people without you even realizing it, because it's intentional, but it's done with the intention of not wanting to receive anything from it. So when you're looking for, I want to lead people and I want to touch lives, that is stunning as a platform to begin with. The foundations of understanding that you set your intention to touch lives. Then you look at, okay, how do I do that? And it's not about building a school and building a clinic and then advertising it. It is the children that are going to the school that need your time. It is the teachers who are suffering every single day with a lack of skills, without any backup, without support, without guidance, without upskilling, without additional training, without being given the thoughtfulness that they deserve. So when you're looking at significance, your ability to touch their lives is way more powerful than the legacy of building a building. You see, that building does not talk to you. It does not connect with you. It doesn't have heart. It is stunning and thoughtful of people who build the buildings. But if you're going to go one step further, you're going to entice entire communities to change their mindsets so that they take full control of themselves. One of the things that I found in terms of significance would be a very, very simple saying I came across, which might actually describe this a bit better, is don't bite the hand that feeds you, but do if it prevents you from feeding yourself. So if we are looking at how we're going to impact people, we say to people, well, I'm going to do handouts, I'm going to feed people, I'm going to go to the shelters, and I commend people who do that, because we need that. We need the love of people connecting just for the love of people with everybody else. Adding value, feeding people, giving support where there's abused women, where there are people suffering from addictions. You need thoughtful, caring people in that way. What I'm talking about is more than that, though. Is when you are with people, do you give them the listening ear and listen to what they're not saying? Do you actually see them for who they are and help to develop and entice that light within them so that they can actually see that the hope that you're talking about is linked to tools and techniques that's going to help to guide them to take more accountability and responsibility for themselves. So they don't sit over there and keep holding on and waiting for your handouts. What they're doing is they're saying, okay, I'm waiting for Louisa to arrive. I'm going to get onto her platform. I'm going to borrow money and get internet so that I can access this platform and access people who are going to add value to my life in terms of intellectual stimulation. They're going to give me a different way of thinking. They're going to add value to me, different ways of challenging my own mindset. Because at the end of the day, if I don't challenge myself, I'm not going to think out of the box. I'm going to sit over there and wait and feel entitled. So when you're a person of significance, you want to get to that point where you're not creating an orphanage. And I say this I say this with a very definite understanding that when you create an orphanage, you've got a lot of children who are depending on you. They're depending on you because they've got nobody else to lean towards. But when you look at corporate environments and many homes, people run their homes and their teams in the work environment like it's an orphanage. They want people to depend on them emotionally, physically, in every way, so they can say, look at me, I'm managing people's behaviors. When you're a leader, you're leading people by significantly challenging their mindset and enabling them to grow, to stretch the way they feel about themselves, to understand that it is their responsibility to do something differently. You do not have to sit over there waiting to help everybody. What you want to do is change your own mindset and realize that significance is not about you doing handouts. It's about you challenging the way people think. Now, the only way you're going to do that is when you challenge yourself. And if you don't know that you are thinking the same way that everybody else is thinking, how else are you going to become a person of impact or influence? All you're doing is managing human behavior. You're not leading people to the truth that they deserve to hear.
Wow. This is amazing. This is powerful. And I'm just going to go back to the audience. I have Dee in the house. Thank you so much for joining. I have Erican. I have Ellen. It's good to have you. Thank you for making out time to be here. Baller, thank you so much for joining us. If I haven't mentioned your name, guys, please forgive me. It's not because I do not care about you, but I guess you're not on my personal page. All of our friends and family from South Africa, I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting what we're doing here today. It's amazing. Are you just getting here for the first time? I don't want to say you're late to the party, but you are. The topic of today is the compassionate leader of influence in personal and your business life. So are you still struggling with what leadership is about? Our guest all the way from South Africa has been able to break down this great concept of compassionate leader. It just kind of shows me that there is space and there's a seat for everyone on the table. No, we don't have those kind of tables where we don't have seats for people. We're ready to embrace, because the compassionate leader is inclusive in her thinking or his thinking. Guy, woman, whatever, you're inclusive anyways. You show compassionate to people. You're ready to step out of yourself. You're ready to be selfless. But sometimes you might overdo things and begin to ruin your own self. And this is why you have to be here. And let's say, wow, this is so good and good stuff. Thank you so much, my sister here from Virginia. It's so good to have you. And yes, when I told you we had the best, I wasn't kidding. She's the best. So this is going to take me to my next question from you, Arthie, is, we have the compassionate leader, but of course, a lot of people, when they think about leadership, what comes to mind for them is the authoritative leader or positional leader. Now, can you kind of throw some light on that? Because people are so afraid of the word leadership. They're just so afraid. It's like, hey, I'm not a leader. I don't want to be like my boss. So what is the difference? Compassionate leader and positional leader. Over to you, Arthie.
Well, I love that because you're a John Maxwell baby too, right? And he's got an amazing book for the readers. For people who are on the call who love reading, The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell is really succinct in describing the different levels of leadership. But for you specifically, when you're talking about relational leader versus positional leader versus compassionate leader, so I'll do it in those 3 ways. So a positional leader is somebody who's earned the right through their experience and through their hard work. They've gotten to the point where they were given the position they deserve according to the experience and expertise. And a lot of people are not given the human skills and the social etiquette and the emotional intelligence to manage their entire teams and to lead them. So many people who are positional leaders are really, really good, but then there are those who don't understand how to lead, and they will take the old school way of thinking that you've got to enforce the results from your team by pushing them, by getting them to respect you based on your title. Now, the relational leader is somebody who engages with people and connects with them. And they're the type of people who build relationships where they actually know the people's names, but about their families, what makes them tick, what makes them feel good and makes them want to come to work. So you're enticing people when you're a relational leader, which then leads to compassionate leader. Because if you bypassed the thinking that a leader is only because of position, you are extremely on the wrong track in understanding the word leadership. Because there are 2-year-olds who are amazing leaders. Go to a supermarket, watch them throw a tantrum. They've just guided you and manipulated you into buying what they want. Now, one of the things about leadership, they talk about influence, is leadership is about influence. So if you're in a home and you're a mom, you're able to influence your family in the way that they look after the home, their health, their wealth, their prosperity, the nutritional side of it. You're guiding through influence in a very beautiful, nurturing way. So leadership has got different facets to it. You can be the tyrant, you can be dominant, you can be autocratic, or you can be caring and thoughtful and still be firm. Because a lot of firm leaders are the type of people that people can connect with and understand that if they say no and if they say yes, it is clearly defined why and how. They're not the type of people that forcefully make people do things. And when you look at the compassionate leader, they can actually take the nuances of all the various leadership styles and engage with the individual. And as I said earlier, is to make them feel loved, respected, and valued as human beings, which means that their ability to influence people is immediate and it's instant because their energy speaks before they do. Now, the compassionate leader listens carefully. Now, most managers who feel that they're leaders based on their position do not understand the nuances of communication. And one of your audience members actually said that very importantly, that communication is the main impact that we all need in terms of our ability to connect. Now, if you think about compassionate leader, you're looking at, in terms of leadership, the person is able to guide and support. Managers manage people. Leaders guide and support people to bring out the best in them and look at where their weaknesses are and encourage their strengths, and then give them the skills and the ability to grow in those various areas and support them with what they need. Now, leadership is not about you've got to continuously keep giving to people and then, getting upset about why your team is not achieving. When you're in a home and you've got children that don't listen to you, take a step back and don't feel as if you're a bad parent. Try a different perspective. Try to understand from their point of view, what are we missing? That is where the communication comes into play. Now, if you take a step back and stop beating yourself up and saying, I'm a bad parent, I'm a bad leader, I'm a bad manager, I'm not good enough, already you're talking to your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your belief systems, the way you feel about yourself. And when you're leading other people, they feel your energy. Now, if you are not decisive and clear about where you are leading people to and the journey of the path that you're going as a family or in a team, how do you expect to influence people? Because then what you're saying, your words and your actions are not matching. You're saying to people, let's go there. This is what we want to achieve. This is our goals. These are our dreams. This is our vision. But if you don't respect and honor yourself, how are you going to influence them? So when you're talking about the compassionate leader, compassion for yourself first. Be vulnerable enough to say, I don't quite understand. What do you think? How do you feel? Which then goes to being an inclusive leader. You see, there is an African principle in this country where the community leaders will sit together and the chief man or woman will sit with the entire community in a circle. Now, what's amazing about this is that they will ask the question, pose the challenge and say, how do you feel about this? Not what do you think? How do you feel about this? You see, already there's an emotional change, there's an emotional charge to the question. Suddenly people are then tapping into themselves and they're looking at the reality of how do they really feel about the situation or the challenge. And then that person sits quietly and does not talk. And the entire community, with respect, talks to each other, brings up solutions, brings up challenges, works out why one thing will work, why one thing won't work, and then adds value and becomes a solution-focused team of people, a community, a family. Now you look at our home environments. Is it not true that as parents, we believe that we always have got to make the decision? Isn't that what managers do in the workplace? They always make the final decision. But an inclusive leader, compassionate leader, allows their people to make the decision as a collaborative thinking with their solutions. And when people have come up with a solution together, they've challenged it together, they buy into it. When you've got a family sitting together, and now I'm bouncing between family and business because I feel it is very relevant. When you're at home and you sit everybody down and say, guys, this is all we have in terms of money for the end of the month. This is what we need to achieve. This is what we need to do. What do you think? How do you feel about that? What are your immediate needs? How can we make this work for everybody? Suddenly, the inclusivity is not about how do I make this work for myself. I'm always the one who makes the decision. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm under stress. And then you can't understand why there's a disconnect between the family members, because your energy is pushing people away, because that anger, that frustration, that guilt, that sadness, that reverberating of your spirit is affecting everybody around you. And then when you take a step back, you can't understand why everybody says to you, well, I need a bag, I need shoes, I need a jacket. And your immediate thing is no. No, it cannot be done. No, you can't have. No. When you're in the work environment, a manager will say, no, that's impossible. No, it's never been done. No, we can't do that. You shut down communication and the emotional connection amongst people because your thinking is no. Your thinking hasn't opened. And something you actually mentioned earlier at the beginning of the call reminded me of a saying. They say that the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it is open. The mind is like a parachute. It only works when it is open. So if we actually took a step back and used the if and then method, you can create an environment. This is an amazing tool or technique. If and then If I can show you a way to connect with people in the most amazing way possible, then would you be interested? You'll get a yes. If I can show you a way to challenge the mindsets of the people in your team to draw out the best and to achieve your bottom line by the end of this quarter, then would you be interested? If I can show you how to communicate and connect with your other half and make them love you even better than they did last night, then would you be interested? If I can show you how to get your children to pass their exams faster and with more confidence, then would you be interested? Every single time you've asked the question, you would get a yes. When you get the yes, the person's mind is suddenly open. There is an emotional connection between the left and the right brain. It's no longer just logical. It's no longer just creative. It's just open to, whoa, yes, I'm open to a conversation. Let's talk. There's your communication line open again. And that's compassion. You use simple tools and techniques to interact with people in the way that they need to be interacted with. And it's that simple.
Wow, this is amazing. This is powerful. We are so excited, and thank you so much for all the hats. It's a lot of hats and love and thumbs up going up. I love this session, and everybody does love the session. It's important that you know, Arthie, that we really appreciate you, and we love what you do. I mean, this is like a wake-up call, guys. Listen, we need to sit back and think about yourself. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to watch the video again. So do me a favor, share this video. Do we have it on your page yet? Can you do me a favor? Share this video, please. Invite more people to be part of this wonderful message, such an impactful message. It hits the heart. I'm like, oh my God, Louisa, are you really doing what you say you're going to do? It's a wake-up call. And we have a comment here from my sister, Eileen. Yeah, welcome. It's good to have you in the house. I said, I like that. Mind is like a parachute. It works when it's open. And I can see all the sharing. Thank you so much, Ellen. It's good to have you. Kairos, it's good to have you in the house. There are a lot of people coming in from all over the world. Guys, let me tell you, can you imagine this morning is a Thursday morning? It's the perfect time to learn from Arthie more. Are you somewhere else, or do you have someone who should be listening to this message who is doing something else? Bring them on. They can't miss it. Bring your questions. Comments, please, in the box below. Let me know what your question is. What do you want to ask about? It's compassionate leadership in your life and in your business. Now, this is going to take me to my next question for you, Arthie, because my audience, 99% entrepreneurs, professionals, leaders. Now, people, with the entrepreneurs, we want to know, where is the money? Okay. So, compassionate leader of influence in your business. How can we make this happen? We do know that in the world of today, people are not interested in what you have to say and what you have to sell. People are most interested in the experience that they have with you. They're most interested in if you can build trust. Are you credible? And are you providing a solution? How can this form of leadership help us to build influence as an entrepreneur in the workplace, as a leader in the office, in the community, as a parent? How can it help us to build influence? What do we need to do? Over to you, Arthie.
Well, I love your question. The reason being is that from the age of 18, when I finished school, I actually only did 1 year of college. And from the age of 19, went into business, and I've never worked for anybody in my life. So I've been an entrepreneur for all of my life. I have got no clue about how to earn a salary or to work in a corporate environment. And yet the majority of the people that I work with are boards of directors and management teams around the world. And the reason being is that as an entrepreneur, as a person who is owning my own business, the key that I found that was the most powerful thing for me, it wasn't about leadership. It wasn't about my skills or my ability. It wasn't about my gender. It wasn't about my education. I found that the thing that helped me and guided me to success in various areas of my life, especially in business, had everything to do with presence. When people buy into you, they are looking at who you are, your credibility, your generosity of heart, and who you are authentically as a person, not in terms of your experience, but who you are as a human being. People see you first before they want to hear about what you do. Because when I talk to people, I always ask them, any person that I interact with, I don't ask them, what do you do for a living? You see, because what you do for a living is how you make money. It has got little to do with who you are as a person. And we miss the point. There is a passionate side of people, the passion that they exude when they love what they're doing. There are many people who are in jobs that they love what they're doing and they say it is absolutely stunning. So that's not a job anymore. They're following their passion and they earn money at the same time. And yet, as entrepreneurs, we are chasing money. Now, we need to change that concept in our head because we need to understand that money is a tool, and using money allows us to become more impactful and more effective in the things that we do, with the people we can see, with the things that we can buy, with the items that make us feel more comfortable, whether it is a beautiful home or a car. We're not chasing the material stuff. As entrepreneurs and business owners, the biggest mistake I have found is they're always pushing people to make a decision on buying their product or service. They've missed the point about the relationship building and whether the person actually wants what you've got to offer. Now, if you're so busy focused on selling something because you need an income, and you're so focused on you need to pay bills and you need to pay school fees, it is a reality. I'm not saying it's not. It is. However, you have got more chances of closing a deal if you know how to connect with people. When you're sitting in a meeting, and one of the key things that I found really helps me to build rapport and to close deals quickly is to set the intention that when I walk into a meeting or into a home or into an interaction or a conference, I'm setting my intention to connect with somebody at a deep level and to understand where they're at and what they need, not to talk about who I am and what I have and all of my skills and abilities. That will come through in conversation. But when you're connecting with the person, you're actually seeing what they're not saying. And I've said this a few times. When you're able to see what people are not saying, you are sitting as a business owner, not saying, okay, I've got a product, you need to buy it because it would add value to you. These are the benefits. No, you're sitting and you're listening to them. And you will then get to the point where you can ask your question. If I could add value to you, if I could help you to solve that challenge, then would you be interested? You get the yes. And suddenly the person is like, wow, they didn't say to me, well, this is what I've got to offer, and I didn't do a marketing spiel. You see, you lose people's focuses when you behave in that way. And as a business owner, your focus is not to make money. It should be the intention to touch the lives of the people you're interacting with. And I always say to people, set your intention that when you walk into a room, your energy has got to be resonating at such a high level that people will feel that it was worth their while to be within your presence for those few seconds. And then when they walk away, they know that it was something that was worth it, that you've challenged their mind or opened their mind to something new, something different, and that I personally was able to learn from them. I went there with the intention to be guided, and for me to challenge my own mindset, not be limited to this is what I sell and this is my product or my service. That is not who you are. That doesn't define who you are. That's just how you earn a living. The human being is craving your attention. They want the authentic you, and the authentic you is the one that listens carefully.
Wow, this is amazing. This is powerful. Guys, I don't know if you're feeling the way I'm feeling, because at this point, I just wish that I could just jump up and begin to scream. That's how I feel. This is hot, straight from South Africa, hot, and this is what you need. I've been seeing a lot of posts, and everyone is talking about how we can end the year and begin the right way. Where are they? Listen, you need to invite them, because this is what is important. are so many professionals and entrepreneurs on the call today, but we just learned from Arthie that it's not about making noise about what you're selling and just trying to force things on people. It's about your credibility. It's about your generosity of heart. It's not what you sell, because people want to buy into you first.
Exactly.
It's about relationship building. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness. I mean, I think just came to teach us about civility right now. And she just said, that you have more chances of closing the deal when you can connect with people. How have you been putting out your product? How have you been showing up in the marketplace? Are you there with all forms of rudeness and people cannot approach you and have the worst character and you feel that you have the best product? Nobody's interested in that. Do not focus on the money. But your intention should be about touching the lives of people, impacting people's
Hmm.
lives. Your intention should be about how you leave them when you walk out of the room. Oh, Auntie, you have just, honestly, I don't know what to say. But guys, you have heard it from the expert. This is not from me. Yes, everyone says my guest is super awesome. She is. And yes, I'm going to brag about her over and over again. She's amazing. Another comment from Arlene said, thank you, thank you, thank you. People want to know you care. Yep, absolutely.
Hmm.
People want to know that you care about them. There are 1,001 people who are doing the same exact thing that you're doing. But what makes you stand out from the competition is the connection. It's relationship building. It's trying to touch their heart. It's trying to impact people's lives. I just feel like crying. Who feels like that? Come on, give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up. I'm so excited about this message because if this is the only message you're going to hear before the end of the year, you got it. And this is going to take me to my last question for you, Adi, is that we are running to the end of the year. Today's the last day of this month. Tomorrow begins a new month. And I believe that anyone who wants to plan for next year should actually begin from tomorrow to plan, or from today to plan for next year. Do not wait for January 1st to begin to write all of this, my New Year resolution. Those things don't work. Okay. So you want to start planning from now. Now, we've made all the mistakes in the past, Adi. We have fallen short of not doing what we should be doing. How can we create a definite plan of action that is going to help us to succeed? How can we do the right thing? How can we change from our old ways? How can we unlearn those things that we have learned in the past and done that hasn't worked for us, and begin to focus as the compassionate leader for the future? Over to you, Arthie.
Well, I think the most, and this is the thing that intrigues me, is we're changing. We're following a calendar. We're following a calendar where we can mark off the days and the month and the year. At what point do we actually follow a life? Understand we're breathing right now. At what point do we understand that this life that we're living is happening right now in the moment? And it is not going to work according to a calendar. The calendar is what people need structure to understand. This is where we've achieved what we're doing for the year, that kind of thing. But it doesn't define the lifestyle that you can have. Now, if you are challenging your mindset to understand that you deserve a lifestyle, does it have to wait 2 months exactly? Does it have to wait for a calendar change, which is a logical thing? Or do you realize that to embrace who you are, it could start now, it could start today, it could start in the next minute if you make the decision to? So being decisive is one of the biggest keys to having the life you deserve. And it is not dependent on a calendar. The second one is being intentional. Understand that when you set your intention to have a different kind of life or lifestyle in your future, It is not dependent on that calendar again. So what you've achieved or not achieved in this entire year is not a reflection of what you can have going forward. Understand that this is a journey you're on. And at what point was there a stop sign on that journey saying 31st of December and 1st of January is when your brain should kick in? No, your brain should kick in right now. So just stop it. Stop thinking and overthinking and underthinking, because that is what's preventing you from actually having a life. Procrastination. I will wait until. I'm going to drink until. I'm going to give myself the chance and the opportunity to celebrate as much as I can, not realizing that, okay, those moments actually adds to what's going to happen in your future. So those moments are defined by the decisions you make right now, to realize that you are holding yourself back, not the days on the calendar, not the years, and not the months that have gone before. And so there are 3 E's that I believe that would make a lot of sense to people. Your first one is embrace your past. Embrace everything that you have gone through, everything that has happened to you, all your experiences, the horrible people, the divorces, the breakups, the pain, the suffering. Embrace that. Embrace also the beauty of what you have learned, and understand those are lessons. Every single thing that happened in your past, you embrace it, because that adds value to what you became. Everything that allowed you to grow, not stagnate, grow. If you chose to use that as lessons, not as excuses. Not to become a victim of your past, but to understand that those things were sent to you because you were not listening the first 5 times. The universe then sent you people into your life. They sent experiences into your life for you to then be moved to the point where you either got to breaking point, or you had that aha moment and you chose to do something different. The second E, evaluate where you are right now in your life. Evaluate, what do you need? What skills? What do you want to develop? What is your passion? What do you want to do? Has it always been to capture the moments of life? So then take up photography, and don't wait until you've got an amazing camera. Pick up your cell phone and start to capture the moments and build a life story around it. Start to embrace who you are and evaluate what you need in terms of skills. Do you want a promotion? What do you need to learn? Where do you need to develop? There's enough stuff that's readily available. TED Talks, YouTube videos, there are seminars, there are conferences, there are people who do Facebook Lives. You can follow people for free. So it is not like you are limited to the knowledge and expertise that you could have if you make a decision to work out what you need in your life. And that's evaluating where you are right now in your present. So embrace your past, evaluate your present, because this is what's going to lead you to the third E. And that is how you will evolve into the future you so richly deserve, based on the fact that you're going to now set your intention. You're going to create a vision for yourself. Stop looking for what your purpose is in life. If you are breathing, you already have purpose. Stop putting pressure on yourself to work out this mind-blowing purpose. Maybe it could be that you just make people smile every day and you fulfill a purpose that is way more powerful than building a building. Maybe you should change your mindset and understand that your purpose is to interact with people through your kindness, through your gentleness, through your thoughtfulness, through the fact that you're a great listener, through the fact that you're the type of person who guides and supports people without being asked, through the fact that you're a selfless human being. And because of your actions and your behaviors, you are able to help guide people to where they deserve to be. Understand that is a purpose. And a lot of people are so stuck on, in the new year, I need to set goals and have a vision for where my life is heading. No, you already have a life. It's already heading the direction you have chosen or not chosen to lead it towards. So know this. One of the final things that I always say to people is, and this is my personal belief and my personal saying, give yourself full permission to not like every person you interact with, because as a human being, you will not like every person you interact with, whether it is family, friends, or colleagues, whether it is people at work, whether it's a boss, or whether it is your other half. Understand this. There's a completion to that sentence. Give yourself full permission to not like every person you interact with. However, your ability to show respect and be respectful is a direct reflection on your character and dignity as a human being.
Wow, this is powerful. This is hot. I mean, this doesn't even seem like it's ending. Guys, I am so excited. Did you get the three E's? I hope you did. And I can see some more people who are coming in and welcome. But sorry that I cannot focus on those who are coming in right now because it's getting really hot. So three is embrace your past, okay? Evolve into your future. And there's one more. So
So
guys,
embrace your past, evaluate your present
your presence. Where are you right now? So
right
kind
now.
of think about when you go into the mall and you have to look for where you're going, isn't it? So
Mm-hmm.
you have to figure out where you're going, but then you
Mm-hmm.
go to check where the sign says you are here. So where are you?
Yes.
Conditions and circumstances and everything that is around you at that point. You have
Yeah.
to be true about this because sometimes we kind of pretend that we don't know where we are and we're
Mm.
trying somewhere. And this is just a great reminder. And Dr. Eric, it's so good to have you in the house. Embrace your past and evaluate where you are. What are those things that are lacking? What do
Mm.
you need to learn? And of course, be ready to relearn. Find out what's happening. What kind of company are you in? Who are those
Mm.
you are around with? Have you been treating your goal and vision as a hobby? Stop
Mm.
it. This is a great reminder, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna watch this video over and over again. And do me a favor, download this video. If you need me to send you an MP3 of this video, this is hot nuggets that you cannot throw away. You need to listen to this every time that you feel like you're falling off the wagon. Go back and listen to it. You always have to have something positive to listen to. What are you listening to? What are you listening to when you're driving? You're in traffic. It's a good time to learn. It's a good time to listen to Artie again. So you will have it on your phone. You want to have it. I'm going to be on YouTube later on today. We will download this video and we'll have it on YouTube. And you can follow me on YouTube, please. It's Louisa Akaiso on YouTube. We have tons of amazing, great videos like this one. And you want to follow me on Instagram, please do. It's So Unique Expert. You never want to miss a day of being in the session. This is what we do every Mondays and Fridays. Of course, we had to do this on Thursday today because this message is so great. She is so wonderful. She's so busy. And it is really difficult to have a Monday and a Friday from Artie. I'm telling you guys. So this is hot nuggets here that I had to bring her here today. And Artie, I really appreciate your making out time to be here. I don't take this for granted. You did everything. I know that you are in the middle of travel and so many things, but you still made out time to be here and give me your time. Even though we've been uncivil with the time, we kind of extended it, but you gave me your time and you were calm
Yeah.
and just doing what you know how to do best. And welcome, Stacy. Guys, if you're just joining us, please watch this video again. I am so excited and I hope to bring Artie back because there's so much amazing things about Artie. I hope to bring her back again. When she has a tiny moment in her schedule, I will bring her back. I'm excited. I'll bring her back. So watch this video and guys, it has been fun. It's been a great 1 hour that we've been sharing this. It's been amazing. And Artie, thank you, thank you, thank you again. And all of the viewers, thank you. My friends from South Africa, thank you. From India, thank you. From Japan, thank you. From Nigeria, thank you. From Ghana, thank you. From Kenya, thank you. From Canada, thank you. From the United States, thank you. From London, UK, thank you. From Ireland, Dublin, thank you. I see all of you, and I really appreciate you for just being there for me and supporting what I do and just believing in me. Thank you so much. And we are going to do this again. Of course, Artie, I have someone said we truly need her back. Yeah, she's coming back. There's no hiding.
Thank you.
And her book is coming up very soon. You can connect with Artie on social media. It's Artie Moore on social media. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. She's on LinkedIn. She's on all the great places where you have professionals. So please connect with her. And another comment from Arlene says, very powerful. I'm always working on being better. This is a huge help. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you again. Thank you, Ella. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Solomon from India. This is amazing. Thank you, and again, thank you, Ronke. It's good to have you. Another Stacy is here again. Thank you so much, all of you. If you are just arriving, please watch this video on replay. I'm going to have it on my page. I'm going to have it on YouTube, but really great nuggets. And I think that if you do everything step by step that's been shared in this video, 2020 is going to be an amazing year for you. You will end the century powerfully with a different mindset and way of doing things. And it's not just going to be fun, that you're just going to be having fun doing what you should do and connecting with people and just being successful in everything in your work, home, creating the right balance and just knowing how to set boundaries. This is amazing. So, guys, I will see you again on Monday. I really do hate to let you go, but I have to. We're always here Mondays and Fridays. So if there is something that you want to learn about and you think we haven't shared it yet, send me an email, Louisa at the civilityacademy.com. I can see a lot of people are following me on Instagram right now. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is amazing. And look for Artie more and follow her. When you follow her on Facebook, okay, tell her where you saw her, because there are a lot of on Facebook. Sometimes people just follow you just for the sake of it. But let her know that you want to learn from her. You appreciate what she's doing. As coaches, as trainers, we need that super nod. We need someone to kind of give us a thumbs up. Give her a thumbs up. Share some love. Just tell her how amazing she was. That's what she wants to hear. Okay? Because we cannot pour out from an empty tank. So we always need the refill. She's given out so much. We have to pour back love into Artie. Artie, I love you so much. Thank you so much, my sister. You are amazing. And thank you for the work that you do and continue to do. Thank you. And we're looking forward to bringing you back here again. And guys, 1st of November is tomorrow. Are you ready for the new one? I'm ready. We're not having a session tomorrow because we had it today. But of course, I will see you next week. And I am super, super, super excited about what is to come. So hang on tight, set on and turn on your notifications. You don't want to miss any of my sessions beginning from today. So take care and have yourself a wonderful rest of the day. Bye for now. Thank you.
Thank you.